Welcome to Chapter 12, Learning Unit 12-1. We're going to start off by calculating without using a table, and we're going to be rounding each calculation to the nearest cent. So what we've been given is the principal of $200, the time is 1 year, rate of compound interest is 8%, and we're compounding quarterly. So the first thing we need to do is calculate the number of periods to be compounded. Keep in mind that you're going to be looking at how many compounding periods per year times the number of years. So in this case, we have 1 year times 4, since it's being compounded quarterly, so we have 4 periods. For B, we're trying to calculate the total amount. So we're going to take $200 times 1.02 equals 204, again times 1.02 for the second period equals $208.08, times 1.02 for the third period equals $212.24, times 1.02 for the fourth period equals $216.48. For C, we're going to calculate total interest. So what we need to calculate is we simply take the $216.48 that we calculated. We're going to subtract out $200, and that's going to leave us with $16.48 for interest. For number 2, we're going to be using the future value tables to calculate the answer with the problem details in number 1. The first thing we have to do is determine, again, what our number of periods are and what our interest per period is. Since we have compounded quarterly for 1 year, we've got 4 periods. Our interest rate per period is 8% divided by 4, the number of compounding periods per year, and that is 2%. So we're going to look up the table factor at 4 periods at 2%, and we're going to get 1.0824. Multiply that number by 200, and that's going to give us the same number that we calculated manually, $216.48. For number 3, it says Lionel Rogers deposits $6,000 in Wittry Bank, which pays 3% interest compounded semi-annually. How much will Lionel have in his account at the end of 8 years? So we're trying to find the future value because they're asking us what is the amount at the end. So again, we need to look for the interest rate per period and the number of periods. So we have 16 periods because it's 8 years times semi-annually, which is 2 times per year. And then we have our 3% divided by semi-annually 2 times per year equals 1.5%. If we look on the future value table, at 16 periods at 1.5%, we're going to find 1.2690, multiply that by 6,000, and we get a future value of $7,614. For number 4, we're going to find the effective rate, the APY, for the year with principal at $7,000, interest rate at 12%, compounded quarterly. Again, we have to calculate the number of periods and the interest rate per period. So we've got 12% divided by 4 is 3% per period, and we have 1 year times 4, so 4 periods. So we'll look up 4 periods at 3% on the future value table, and we'll have 1.1255. Multiply that by 7,000, and it is $7,878.50. To determine how much interest we have, we subtract out the original number, the principal of 7,000, and we get $878.50. To calculate APY, we take interest of 878.50 and divide it by 7,000, and that shows us we have 12.55%. For number 5, we're going to calculate using table 12.2 what $1,500 compounded daily for 5 years will grow to at 7%. So we're going to look up under the 7% for 5 years, we're going to get 1.4190, multiply that by 1,500, and you'll get $2,128.50.